Hello, my good friends. It's Roger once again, Mud Fossil University. As you know, I am into mud fossils, and I say that there are things that have preserved on the earth that were soft tissue flesh, such as this tendinous material and this fleshy muscular material, that has turned into stone. Now, there are other exceptions that are turned into stone by gorgons, is what I am going to say. Look at this. What do you see there? What do you see here? This is the Colossus Gigante. It's Colossus del Gigante, I believe is the name of it. It's in Italy somewhere, and it is on the coast, and it is a gorgonified creature. Now, what do you see right there? That's a leg. I don't care how, unless you got a real problem with your eyes. That is identical, not close, it's identical to the tendinous material on that leg that I showed you a moment ago. Now, not only that, if you look up here in this area here, that is the broken architecture of an arm. His face is been tried to be reconstructed with some steel bits and some sloppy clay architecture. It destroyed it. I mean, it's falling apart. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. And these things were somehow like sealed in marble instantly. And this isn't the only case of this. They're all over the place. Now, that is the blood and the tissue that is preserved inside. I don't know how they did it, but I can tell you one thing, that was done by a gorgon. They had the ability to do this. I don't know how. The only thing I can assume is that they had the ability to tell these molecules to say, all right, stabilize. And they all just stopped where they were and took on every bit of molecular integrity they could to become as hard as they could, because they'll do that eventually. But they just do it a little slower because it's just a process. It's a transitioning process. Not like this. This had to happen like instantaneously. I'll show you another one. Now, this is the Colossus of Apennine. And that, I'm going to tell you right now, was a living, breathing creature at one time. And that right there is the tendinous fibers in his arm. Now, if you know mud fossils and you know anatomy the way I do, you will understand exactly what you're seeing right there. And I'm going to show you what that attachment is in the human body. You see that? These are the fibers that we saw up in that giant's shoulder. And they break into just absolute little straps, just perfectly straight up and down straps. Now, this is the total structure here. But I can find every detail that I know of in mud fossils. The colors of the blood, the texture of the skin, the kaolin clays. Everything that I know about in mud fossils is represented here. And these stories were written about by Ovid. All right, this is from Ovid's Metamorphosis, which he talks about changing humans into stone. And this is a passage from, it's a huge, huge book. They all deserved the punishment they suffered, except one of Perseus's warriors. While he was fighting on his side, Aconteus saw the Gorgon's head and took the shape of hardened stone. Astyages struck him with his long sword, thinking he was still alive, and the blade gave a high-pitched ringing noise. While Astyages stood there amazed, the same power transformed him, and he remained there with a wondering look on his marble face. It would take a long time to tell the names of the middle ranks of men. 200 bodies survived the fight. 200 bodies were turned to stone at the sight of the Gorgon's head. 200 of them. And then it goes on about how Phineas regrets the fight and so forth. But this is all of these myths appear to have extremely solid basis that we've laughed at. And now it's time to take a little account of our true past.